One of the ultimate cars that there is, the Audi R8. It's an absolute machine. It's beautiful to look at. It's got the performance that you need. And I think in this specification, it has to be the ultimate bumblebee on the road. So the Audi R8 V10 Plus, an absolute weapon, and we have had one of these before, not only on the channel but in stock here at Enkae. Obviously the one before that was Ara Blue, and this is Vegas Yellow. Now for me, I'm quite partial to a bit of yellow on a car because my own personal car is in fact yellow. Now the yellow itself is just in your face with that brightness and that massive impact that it grabs from you. Everywhere you go, everyone stares because of the colour. And I think with this spec, with the black wheels, the black badging, obviously the R8 on the back, and this car, not only is it dripping in yellow paint, but it also is dripping in carbon fibre. So on this car, we've got the carbon fibre front splitter, all the nice gloss black accents all around the front. Towards the side, we've got the carbon side blades, the carbon wing, the carbon diffuser. It's got everything. And that doesn't stop because it also goes on to the inside of the car. We've got the carbon inlays, the carbon driver console. Everything is carbon fibre. And it has to be. For a car like this, it definitely has to be. Now the V10 itself is a 5.2 litre engine, which is an absolute monster. It is pushing this car 602 brake horsepower. And when you do put an exhaust on this car, it does bump that up a little bit more, just like the Ara Blue R8 that we had, which has that Akprovec exhaust system on the back of it. Now the car itself is just absolutely stunning. I love the Audi platform that they've done. Obviously it does mix with the Huracan, and in last week's review we did talk about the Huracan a little bit more and we did compare it. Now the two cars themselves, they have the same engine, they have the same power with everything that's in them, and they're both just as stunning. But I think this colour is a little bit better than the white and what it probably should be. But how can you not love Vegas Yellow? So as I have mentioned, this car does have the carbon side blades. That is top and bottom. Obviously this is the facelift version from the old school R8, and this is the best shape for this car. This car itself does have the silver aluminium R8 fuel cap, which stands out. A lot of people would probably wrap it black or carbon or something like that, but I quite like the contrast. It's got that nice R8 logo right there. It's got the carbon contrast between the two. The roof is professionally black on this one. It has been wrapped by a professional company, but how can you not love this car? Finished in the Vegas Yellow. I mean, everything about it is just so special and unique. And I think that pulls a little bit from the colour, but also because it does have so much carbon fibre around it, including the carbon fibre wing. Now everything here is from Audi themselves. So this is the carbon wing from Audi, the carbon side blades, nothing else apart from the roof which has been done afterwards. Everything else is pretty standard. But I think there's enough of me rambling on about the exterior of what we've been through all before, and let's take it out on the road, have a little drive and have a little bit of fun on a nice dry country road. So welcome to the Audi R8. What a car this thing is. It's the perfect car for country roads. Yeah, it's a bit showy off it with the yellow paint, but you just have to love this thing. And we'll get into just driving it in just a second, but wow, what an experience this car actually is. I mean, obviously 602 brake horsepower, mid-engine supercar, and you put your foot down in sport mode and just, wow, it just pulls 0 to 60 definitely very quick. Now I love the Audi R8. The dash is just absolutely fantastic to look at. The steering wheel is so nice and comfy, especially with the flat bottom. You've got everything that you might need and the traditional stalks instead of the Hurricane with those buttons on the steering wheel. I like how you've got this nice start and stop button right there at the touch of your thumb, and it draws so much attention, most from the colour but also from the sound, because right here by your thumb is a button just to change that setting. So you've got sound, you've got the standard sort of sound, and you've got the sport sound, which this is fitted with the sports exhaust, so you definitely have to just drive it in sport sound. Like there's no way of having it in standard, definitely not. Now with Audi, it's quite nice because on the shifter down here, we just push it down and we're going to drive, turn the valves off, and it's a nice, comfortable car. You can cruise, you don't have to hear the engine screaming its head off every 2 seconds, and you don't need to worry about it being so in your face and brutal. But when you want it to be, you can just have a bit of fun and have just an amazing time driving this car. This is why the Audi R8 is so dailyable. It's why it's a perfect daily supercar if you ever want one. Whenever we hit country roads, or whenever you hit a nice little stretch that you can just open it up a little bit, you also have the performance mode, and that's symbolized by a flag right on the steering wheel. Now when you press that button, we've got the performance drive. Stabilization is obviously warning because it turns that stabilization off, and we can shift the gear selector right there into manual mode and just listen to the exhaust. It automatically goes into sport in everything, and you just have the true potential of that V10 5.2 litre engine right under your right foot. And with the carbon ceramics, it definitely makes it a crucial thing, especially when you're going into performance mode, either often or just on a nice basis that you just want a bit of fun every now and then putting your foot down. It handles so well. It's got the performance of a supercar because it is Audi R8. Obviously this is, as I said, the facelift. It's got the noise, it's got the looks, it's got the performance. Wow, absolutely fantastic. Such a true and sort of visceral experience for when you're driving this car. You've got those downshifts with the pops and crackles, and it just gives that little sensation of that bang that you need on this type of car. It's meant to be loud, it's meant to be aggressive, but also when you want it to be, you can shift it down into normal mode and just have it as a daily supercar. And I think that's so important. And I mean, wow, it's just such an exciting place to be, an exciting feeling that you get from driving this car. Now the shifters are quite small in comparison to the Hurricane shifters. They're a little bit shorter, where the Hurricanes have that nice big long paddle shifter. Obviously everything is what you want it to be. This is what you want out of a supercar. It's what you want out of something that, you know, you're paying £100,000 for. Yeah, you can get the high-class Mercedes or high-class Audi, but this is just, if you're wanting something that you just want a bit of fun, 2 seats, and you want that supercar, wow, this is the one. You just want to have fun on a daily basis, put your foot down when you want it to be, get the attention, get the looks. How can you beat a bright yellow, Vegas yellow Audi R8? Just puts a smile on your face. You know, it is a true bumblebee. Yellow paint, black accents, dripping in carbon fibre, and that comes into the interior. So we've got the carbon inlays around the driver console. All the vents are covered in carbon. We've got the centre console trim down in the middle. It's just, there's just something not quite like an Audi R8. It gives you a different experience than a Hurricane does. It gives you a different experience than what you'd typically think of a supercar, and you just really can't beat it because it's just so much, it's just such good fun driving this. I really enjoy these cars. They're so comfortable to drive. You don't feel like you're driving a big boat. Now this car revs up to 8.5 RPM is on the dash there, but wow. It's just such good fun. Oh, what an experience. Absolutely in love with this thing. One of the best supercars for the money that you can buy. And if you are in the market for a Vegas yellow Audi R8, then Enkae at this time of filming has it in stock. I don't think it's going to stick around for long. I don't think it's going to be here, because I think as soon as you see it, as soon as you drive it and experience the performance of this car, I think you just fall in love straight away. So if you are in the market for this type of car, then definitely come have a look at this one, because wow, I'm blown away by this thing. Unbelievable in every way, shape or form, and I cannot wait to be behind the wheel once again. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little review, little cutaway, and just a bit of a chat about this Audi R8 V10 Plus.